Hello. Earlier this week I managed to get the last of my tomato plants out of the greenhouse. The tomatoes were growing in these 10-inch buckets, growing in the soil that's still in these 10-inch buckets. I've had it out and broken it up and popped it straight back in. I've left a space above that soil in each of these buckets because under normal circumstances I would put these buckets on a rack of my smallest compost pile in the world and top them off with a layer of chop and drop that usually comprises seaweed, leaves and probably grass. And then they would sit for the next 5 or 6 months because I wouldn't be growing anything in them over winter, and in the spring of next year these buckets, this soil would be ready to go again. We've managed the soil, we've maintained the soil over those months, and that soil will be ready to go again. But I've got another use for this soil this year. It's going on a quick turnaround. It's going on a quick turnaround to facilitate these strawberry plants that I've got growing in these yogurt pots. Okay. A week ago I shot a video, I'm going to put a clip of that on now, where I took these strawberry plants out of these yogurt pots to inspect the root ball, because what I don't want to do is take the plant out and all the soil falls away from the roots. I need those roots to get hold of that soil, produce a good root ball. And a week ago we didn't have a good root ball. We had some flowers. I took your advice and I snipped those flowers off. I'm just waiting for this root ball to get a bit more substantial so that it will hold that soil together, so that when I take the plant out of this yogurt pot to go into these water buckets, the root ball just will hold the soil. The soil won't just fall away from it. It looks quite a healthy strawberry plant. It really does. Now I'm going to take it out of this yogurt pot and check the root system on this plant. So far, no flowers, which is fine, but we need a decent root system, don't we? Let's just see if we can turn this guy out and let you have a look at the root system. Hey, we're happy with that. We're happy with that. This is all new root. All new root. And I think I could turn this up, and yeah, the root ball stays intact. So these would be okay to be moved up into the water buckets that I intend planting these in, because that root ball would stay intact and there would be no root disturbance. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm not going to do that just yet for 2 reasons. Although that was one of the things you advised me to do, was to pot them up. I'm not going to do it just yet, and I'll show you why I'm not going to do it just yet. Let me get the other strawberries up. They look healthy, don't they? And covered in flowers. And the other piece of advice she gave me was, because these are first year bare root strawberry plants, these flowers, whilst they might produce fruit, they'll do the plant no good at all. It's the wrong time of year for this to be happening for plants so young. We need to be focusing on next year, not this year. And so I've been advised by you to take these flowers off. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. Okay, we'll take these flowers off first, and then we'll have a look at the root system, shall we? See how these guys are coming on. So, let's see if I can do this. One. Let's have a look at the roots on the newer ones. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Now, as you can see, the soil's still in the bottom of this yogurt pot, and those roots haven't got down through it yet. So if I was to turn this the other way, if I was to turn this up, that soil would be all over this table. I'd never get this planted without a lot of root disturbance, and I don't want that. So we'll leave that where it is. We'll leave that where it is. And we'll let a week or two elapse, and then we'll pot them up, provided we've got a decent root system on there that isn't going to fall to pieces. So just to recap, we've taken the flowers off so that all the energy in the plant goes to the root system. Hopefully that'll be a bigger root system in a couple of weeks' time. I'll have got the tomatoes and the cucumber out, and then we'll pot them all up. Okay. And then in between times of getting the tomatoes out and getting these potted up, I'll knock this greenhouse into shape. I'll get it cleaned, tidied and secured. So I think these plants need another week or so in these yogurt pots before we pot them on. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to reinvigorate this soil with some blood, fish and bone, and prepare it to take these strawberry plants in a week or so's time perhaps, and that will definitely be on the back end of this video when I pot these guys up. We'll have a look at them, because there is actually something about these plants that puzzles me. It puzzles me, and I think it might puzzle you, although I may be seeing things here. But I'm going to let you have a look at the back end of this video and tell me what you think. Okay, let's move the strawberry plants to one side. Let's bring the barrow into shot, and let's start reinvigorating this soil with a balanced fertilizer, blood, fish and bone. You'll be pleased to know that we're not going to do all of these buckets on camera. We'll just do one. I've already done one, and then I'll put the pair of them hopefully in this barrel. Let you have a look at them. We'll just move this out the way for the time being, and we'll pop our gloves on for this, because this soil is quite wet and blood, fish and bone tends to stick and it can be smelly, so yeah, we'll do that. Right, this is one of our buckets of soil. Right, this is the blood, fish and bone in this recycled plastic sweet jar, like our recycling at Homegrown Veg, and that's the blood, fish and bone. And you're going to say to me, how much is that? What's the quantity? Well, I think it's just enough that by the time I get to fill in the last bucket, I'll have probably used what I've got. Okay, let's mix this. And of course the other thing you can do during the growing year is that if the strawberries are looking a bit peaky, well, we can always add some liquid fertilizer, can't we? We can give them something, surely. Okay, let's charge that bucket. I'll just show you this before we go any further. Yogurt pot filled with soil. What we're trying to do here, we're trying to produce a planting hole in the middle of this bucket that'll be the right size for the strawberry plants when we come to move them into the buckets. Okay, that'll make life a lot easier for us, and hopefully no root disturbance. Right, watch this. That now is about level with the top, and that's where we want our strawberry plant to finish up. I will just bury this. Hey, don't let me forget I put one in here. I've done that before. I've had subscribers sending me comments saying, hey, you've buried a yogurt pot, did you take it out? I've done that before. Right, we'll shake that off, push this down a little. Just a little more in there. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to leave that in there until we're ready for moving the strawberries up, and that comes out. Let me see if I can take it out now, just to show you what we're trying to achieve here. Give it a twist so it isn't sticking. Hey, how good's that? Can you see that planting hole? I don't know if you can. Oh, how good's that? So you can imagine the strawberry plant now. Boink, get in there. Get in there, Morton. Right, I'll see if I can get the other one in shot. That's one I done earlier. Okay, this comes out. Strawberry plant goes in. Hey, couldn't be easier, could it? Right, we'll have another 10 or so buckets to do now, so we'll switch you off and we'll switch you on when we get finished. Just as soon as those strawberries are ready to pot up, we'll move them up into these buckets. The variety of strawberry I ordered was Sweetheart, and I ordered 10 bare root plants, and as you know, they came in totally unsuitable packaging, were rammed through the letterbox, and out of those 10 only 3 survived, and this is one of those survivors. Okay, that is Sweetheart, or at least I think that's Sweetheart. And why do I think it's sweetheart? Why do I not know it's sweetheart? Well, because when I only got 3 from 10 and complained, they sent me 10 more. And I've got all of those 10 away, and I'm going to put one of those up on the table now. And this is what's got me puzzled. They don't actually look like the same variety. They look like a different variety. Just judging on leaf shape and leaf colour. Let me put one of these up. So this is one of the replacement plants, and this is one of the originals. Now, contrast those two leaves. Do they look like the same variety to you? This leaf looks much darker than this leaf, and the serrations on this leaf are much more pronounced. They look like two different varieties. What do you think? What do you think? I know that I'm going to grow them on, and I know hopefully that we will get some strawberries, and then we'll maybe be able to make a definite conclusion that, yeah, we've got two varieties here, or they all look the same, and it's the same variety. But at this point in time, I think I've got two different varieties, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know what those varieties are. I've had a look at the root balls on these strawberries, and they look as though they're holding the soil well together now. They're holding the root ball together. So now's the time to move them up from these yogurt pots into these water buckets, and for that we're going to need a little bit of fertilizer, bloodfish and bone. I'm going to sprinkle some of that in the hole, and also I've found some old weed membrane that I've cut into these discs. I'll show you that. I've cut into these discs, and I'm going to place that on top. That's going to keep the strawberries off the soil. I'm expecting the strawberries to fall over the sides of the bucket, and so they wouldn't come in contact with the soil. But if they do, we're going to use this stuff. Now, I know it's more traditional to use straw, but I haven't got any straw. All I've got is some weed membrane, so that's what we're using. We're going to use what we've got. We like to recycle stuff here at Homegrown Veg. I think this weed membrane's been down in the garden somewhere. It's done a job for me already, and now it's going to do another job for me. So let's take this last strawberry into the greenhouse to join its mates. Yeah, and we'll pot them up. Come on, let's go. This is the last one, you'll be pleased to know. And what's our plan of attack? What we're going to do next? Well, this is what I'm planning. Okay. I'm going to keep the strawberry plants in this greenhouse to overwinter. And as you know, if you're a follower of mine, this is an 8x6 greenhouse, so it's not a very big one. And I think I've managed to get 13 strawberry plants away. So we're looking at 13 strawberry plants in here to overwinter, and that's okay because there's nothing else in here, is there? But come the spring of the year, I'll be looking to get a dozen or so tomato plants in here and probably a cucumber. Well, I've already got more than a dozen strawberry plants in here, so it's going to become a bit crowded. So the plan of attack is this. We'll keep the strawberry plants in here to overwinter. In the spring of the year, I'll move them outdoors. It's easy enough done, isn't it? Look. They're only small water buckets. I'll move these guys outdoors in the spring of the year. Now, what I'm hoping to happen is that these guys will start to produce the flowers again. The pollinators will arrive, pollinate the flowers. The flowers will set fruit. And then I'm in two minds. Now, I can net them. I haven't got any net at the moment. I'd have to get some net. I can net them. But I'm actually thinking about bringing them back into the greenhouse to fruit in the greenhouse. That's if I can fit them in with the dozen or so tomato plants that'll already be in here. So yeah, it's one or the other. They'll stay outdoors, they'll flower, they'll fruit, they'll be netted, they'll stay outdoors. Or they'll flower, they'll start to fruit, I'll bring them in here, birds won't get the fruit. We'll get the fruit here at Homegrown Veg. Maybe one or the other, unless you come up with something better, unless there's a better way of doing this. Yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. Okay, so that didn't take long. It really didn't take long. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to these strawberries next year. Right about now I'd usually say stay safe, but you obviously have, because you're watching this video. So I've stayed safe and you've stayed safe. Yeah, let's keep it up, eh? Let's get past Christmas. Let's get into the spring of next year and let's grow some strawberries. That's what I'm doing. Make a plan. Plan to grow something next year. Get through Christmas and get planting next year. And hey, we'll all be eating homegrown veg, won't we? Yeah, of course we will. Of course we will. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Homegrown Veg signing out.